So for my final project, I've chosen to write an informational report on the oral immunotherapy drug Palforzia. So the purpose of my report is that it aims to educate those who are subscribed to the No Nuts Moms group blog on the oral immunotherapy drug Palforzia in regards to the pharmacodynamics, the risks and side effects, dosing, and cost. And that way they can make an informed decision on whether to talk to their child's healthcare provider about whether it might be a viable treatment option for them. So now that I've shared the purpose of my report and the audience, I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on the No Nuts Moms group and their blog. So to start, the group was created by Lisa Rudder in 2011 when her son became diagnosed with a severe peanut allergy. So her whole vision for this group was it could be a local place where kids with peanut allergies could play together in a safe environment, and then at the same time, the moms could share ideas. So the blog aims to provide resources regarding food allergy research, lifestyle tips, books, and just other resources about food allergies. Notably, in 2018, it was named one of the best food allergy blogs by Healthline. Subscribers to this blog are looking for advice in how to better manage their food allergy and just for a sense of hope from the research that they are providing. Now I'm going to transition into talking a little bit about the prevalence of food allergies and that they truly are really relevant in today's world. So to start, there is no cure for food allergies. So the recent research on oral immunotherapy, which is also called OIT, it really has provided those with food allergies a sense of hope, and that although it will not cure them, it will help desensitize them to a certain degree so that it can eliminate some of their fear and some of the anxiety that comes with having a food allergy. On the slides, I've provided two quotes by two leading allergists, and one of them happens to be on the FDA's board who was responsible for approving Palforzia. And both of them have stated that peanut allergies are very common. And this coincides with the fact that peanut allergy is the third most common food allergy in the world right now. And with peanut allergies being so prevalent, Palforzia offers these patients with the opportunity for a better life. So now I'm going to provide some background information on Palforzia, the first oral immunotherapy drug that was approved by the FDA. And it was approved just this year on January 31st, 2020. And it is intended for children between the ages of 4 and 17. Palforzia is a peanut allergen powder, and it is looking to not necessarily cure those of their food allergies, but rather desensitize them so that in the case that there is an accidental exposure, they won't go into anaphylaxis or have a severe allergic reaction. As far as how much work I've completed thus far, I have completed all of my preliminary research, and then I've also completed the draft of the full body of my paper. So to discuss my first criterion, which was the pharmacodynamics of Palforzia, I found that Palforzia, the way that it works is that as the patients consume more and more of the allergen, their immune system learns how to adapt. So in Dr. Nadeau's research from Stanford Medicine, she did a lot of research concerning the regulatory T cells of the immune system. And these regulatory T cells play an integral part in how the immune system is able to suppress the inflammation of other cells, which could cause reactions such as anaphylaxis. So in these regulatory T cells, Dr. Nadeau identified this FOXP3 gene. And whether this gene was activated or deactivated played a huge part in the suppression of severe allergic reactions. So she found that in patients who received OIT therapy, their FOX3P genes were activated, and it was activated to the point that was comparable to those who didn't even have a peanut allergy to begin with. And on the other hand, in those who did not receive OIT therapy, who were still considered to be peanut allergic, they had a great amount of FOXP3 gene deactivation, which resulted in a decreased number of regulatory T cells, so that they weren't able to suppress those inflamed other cells. Continuing on to my next aspect of Palforzia that I researched, which was dosing, I found that dosing Palforzia is split into 3 different stages. So there's the initial dose escalation, which occurs in 1 day under a doctor's supervision, and they start with a 0.5 milligram dose, and then it increases to 1 milligram, 1.5 milligrams, 3 milligrams, and then 6 milligrams. And then after this, the patient will continue into the next phase, which is the updosing. And from here, the patient will start with a 3 milligram dose, and then it will increase every 2 weeks until the patient hits a total of 300 milligrams of powder, which is the equivalent of 1 peanut. And then once the patient has successfully tolerated that 300 milligrams for 2 weeks, they will then move into the last phase, which is called the maintenance stage. And in maintenance, the patient will continue taking that 300 milligrams daily, and they will take it daily for at least a minimum period of 6 months. And then on the right is a table of the updosing numbers. So for my last criteria, which I researched, which was the cost of Palforzia, when looking on GoodRx, I found that the price of Palforzia was going to be $890 per month. And then also, when I was looking at the Washington Post, they said they concurred with the price that GoodRx gave, but they also said that Aimmune in the future is going to try and offer some sort of assistance program where it can lower the cost of Palforzia to as low as $20 per month. So in terms of the work that I have left to complete to turn my final project in, I want to first work on the front material, so that would be getting my executive summary, the title page, the table of contents, and the letter of transmittal completed. And then lastly, I want to add some more justification for why I chose the methods that I did.